North Negros Forest Reserve suffered from thinning of forest cover because of rampant illegal logging. But what I'm going to share with you today is the story, or are the stories, of former illegal loggers who have been converted by this partnership between the Bacolod City Water District and the Negros Forest and Ecological Foundation Incorporated when they put up this watershed project.
Maribeth Soto was 10 years old when she started helping her parents with the family's livelihood. Their means of survival, according to Maribeth, depended on the forest. But her family's source of income was destroying the environment. Now, she apologetically admits her family was among those who contributed to the problem on deforestation.
Timbang pa kami na niya sa lagari, mano-mano na balas, gagmay pa kami. Tapos, kun ang mga sanga-sanga sinasang kahoy, bingang ginalagari namon, ginauling naman na namon. Sa adlaw-adlaw, amo namon, ginaubra. Nag-abot ang time nga nagtakla di ang mga NGOs. Gin-educate kami bala, ginpatagan kami kung ano ang kaimportante sang kahoy. Pwede ka mabuhi sa iban nga paagi. Nag-program yung NGOs nga, sige, kung gusto nyo nga may pangabuhian ka mo, ma-provide kami food for work para lang mananom kamo sa mga sidling. Ibalik nyo ang mga sidling, tagaan ta kamo ang food.
Jerivel Makiling was no different from Maribeth when she was young. Her family too was into illegal logging in order to make ends meet. Jerivel admits she is not proud about their past but is happy that through Prime Water Bacolod and the Bacolod City Water District's Bridge to Reef program, they were given a fresh start at life by actively helping in the advocacy on reforestation and biodiversity conservation. She and Maribeth are among the 12-foot patrollers who serve as guardians of the forest that is within the protected area. They patrol the 1,000-hectare watershed area that the Water District adopted in 2010. They monitor the growth of newly planted seedlings and make sure that existing flora and fauna remain undisturbed.
Kami sa una, maski wala pa kami sa basiwa, wala pa kami sa may ginabaton nga sweldo, ang ginatawag nga protection, ang amon nga pagserbisyo sa bukid ma'am, hindi man lawg-lahog na ga-suporta kami maski wala kami sa may ginabaton nga kwarta tungod nga na-realize na namon kung ano ka-importante ang ginatawag nga doon ang mga.
Dennis Pusin calls himself a forest warden, as his major daily task is to make sure the forests remain lush and are protected from illegal loggers and those who harm natural resources. He shares the trees that make up the watershed now were nowhere to be found in the early 80s, as he is among the locals of Sitio Campuestuhan who were born and who grew up watching and even helping their parents destroy the forests just so they can keep their families above water. But in the last 11 years, he claims he lives his days with a purpose. He proudly showed us around the watershed and pointed to us portions of the protected area that he believes hold the most magnificent view. He says, life here is very simple, but the grandeur of the forests is breathtaking. Add to that, the essentials that enable man to live and survive, like water and food, are found here.
Kami ang niladang mga forest na warden. Bantay man, protection. So nagasulod ng mga nagakadto sa area mo.
Anong nakita mo mga developments or improvements?
Dako kayo ma'am, kay tungod sang una, sang wala pa ang basiwa, wala pa ang Negros Forest, wala pa ang Bantay Bukid. Open siya kayo ma'am. Wala ka makita di nga puno nga munit lag po.
Saan una nga mga tinuig man?
Mga 86, 84.
Mainit,
Init siya ma'am.
Naubos gidya.
Ang aton makita sa subong nga puno, sang una, sang pag-abot sang Negros Forest, before, ang ining mga puno, dito siya makita sa pinakalayo na gidiri ma'am.
Oo.
Oo.
Ti subong niya.
Diri na sa tupad naton sa pagpistuhan na gid mismo.
So subong ongoing ang pananom.
Sige na yan. Ang amon nga pag-intindi ma'am, tungod sa mga climate change la ma'am, nga nagkalatabo sa buong saton. Di medyo dako gid nga bulig sa lugar kag sa aton nga nicho ma'am.
Kay kun untatan
Ti medyo inang halit dito sa aton tanan ma'am, labi na sa dalom.
That is what we are monitoring every day at paagi sa aton mga foot patrollers. They are from that area. We tap the personnel in that area because they know the place. That 1,000 hectares covers the forest of Talisay and Murcia. We are in partnership with the LGU, so Talisay, Murcia, Negros Forest, and Vivi before, but they are now known as Talarap Foundation, and the PAMBI, the PAMBI,
Protected Area
Management Bureau. Actually, in our initial MOA, in original MOA rather, Basiwa is just a support organization to PAMBI. But through the years, we initiated na because we have resources na to do so. But all of those activities are coordinated and echoed sa not only PAMBI, LGU, and of course the DENR.
According to the foot patrollers, a lot has changed now. The protected area now is a far cry from what used to be a balding portion of North Negros Natural Park in the 80s and 90s. This time around, it is not just them that is taking care of the trees, their children too, and the rest of their families. And seeing members of the different sectors share the same concern for the environment gives them so much pleasure.
Grabe nga turn around ma'am no. Halin sa pagpangutod kahoy.
Ito pangutod. Hasta nga sang wala na bibaling nagabulig nag-stop na. Sige na doon nalutas na kami. Nga ang gamot nga ginatag sa amon sang nagbulig duka. Ara na sa amon ma'am kag hindi na madula. Gani ginapasalamatan gina namon tanan-tanan nga nagbulig diri sa amon. Ang dako-dako nga nabulig halin sa NGO sa Negros Forest pakadto sa Basiwa pakadto sa Prime Subong nga nangin amo kami sin.
Saksigi kami ma'am nga amo na ang natabo sang una kag natatakman sa amon isip nga pwede gali kami makabulig hindi lang sa amon kaugalingon kundi sa bugos nga mga katawhan tungod kung may kahoy kita diri nang matabo nga mag-abot ang ulan nang maka anugid sang baha bala kapugong ang kahoy sang parisa na mag-landslide. Kung may kahoy hindi gidya mag-landslide, hindi magbaha dito sa ubos. Way labot pa sina ang tubig di maging matinlo.
Prime Water Bacolod City will continue its best practices and we will introduce more projects that will benefit both our consumers and our environment.
Medyo dako na ang diferensya ma'am.
Kagiti hindi na kamo nagahalit sa ano no.
Hindi na gid
Sa
siya.
palibot.
Siyempre, sa una kami nagahalit, subong kami nagabantay.
The stories of Maribeth, Jerivel, and Dennis are but reminders that one can always turn away from their destructive ways. Their confessions are both admirable and inspiring. A gentle reminder that one can always choose right over wrong for the greater good, especially when it comes to saving not just the trees, but the only planet we are all living in.
The story that we just shared to you reminds that anybody, okay, it's at any point in our lives we can always change, and we can always change for the good. And well, along this line, would like to enjoin everybody to please, of course, well, while we are all staying vigilant against COVID-19, may we all not also forget to actively take part in the preservation and protection of our environment. And here in Negros, the Northern Negros Natural Park is one concern that a lot of sectors have been, helping so that we can bring back, we can thicken the forest cover, and that, well, we can also prevent disasters brought about by forest denudation, and other disasters, okay, that actually result in the loss of lives and the destruction of or damage to properties. But of course, we'd like to thank Bacolod City Water District and Prime Water Bacolod for bringing us stories like this, stories that inspire people to not just survive but to also be concerned of everything around them. One is our environment. I hope everybody continues to follow our vlogs on YouTube, and please share the links so that many can or have access to stories that inspire, stories that motivate, and stories that keep us alive despite the challenges and the difficulties that we continue to face in the midst of this pandemic. I hope everybody's healthy, and I hope that everybody continues to strictly observe the minimum health protocols and have yourselves vaccinated, because this is the best way for us not only to protect ourselves from COVID, but also to protect our families and the people around us. Let's stay strong, let's stay healthy, let's say always yes to preserving and protecting the environment, and of course, yes to life. I'll see you next time. Bye!